Hey guys, I thought it'd be an interesting video to count how many sockets I have at work as a master diesel engine tech. Now I've got quite a few sockets, but we're going to define what I mean by a socket. So it has to be enclosed. This one's cut, so that does not count. Also internal drive, like a hex, like this, an Allen drive. Torx bits, anything like that, I'm not going to count those. Also anything that's like this, where it's a bit driver or an extension or an adapter, they don't count. Has to be 1/4 inch, 3/8 square drive like that, 3/4, something like that. So I'm gonna speed these up, so hopefully it doesn't take forever to count, but let's get counting. So these are my deep metric 3/8 drive impact sockets. Then I stack my 12-point and 6-point like this, and these are my shallow 3/8 drive. Use these a lot. So these are gonna take a little while because they're stacked. And I'll keep the tally in the top left. And these are our standard. These are all cat sockets, by the way. Snap-on makes those, both in the 6 and the 12-point. And we're getting up there, 76 already. This is for brakes. Not going to count that. And we're counting our chrome 1/4 inch drive. That's an adapter. That does not count. These are our metric deeps. And then we have our metric shallows. Then we're moving on to our standard deep. Like I said, these are 1/4 inch drive. There's our shallows. Now we're getting all of these large ones. Most of these impact 1/2 inch drives are Sunex brand. Some are Cat, some are SK, but I have a lot of Sunex, which are very inexpensive for the big sets, and I've never actually broken one. I've used them for many years now. Have a nice amount of sockets now with 169. We're going to count our chrome universals here up to 188. These are our deep 1/2 inch drive impacts, metric and standard. Oh boy. Okay, we're not counting these. Remember, those are internal drive. So, almost forgot our inverted Torx. Probably the dumbest headed fastener on the planet, but not the socket's fault. We've got 1/4 inch chrome universals. We've got a couple floating around 1/2 inch drive universals. We've got our metric and standard 3/8 swivel impacts. We've got our super shallow 1/2 inch drive impacts here. These are metric. And then we've got square drive for something like a drain plug on a differential, something like that. And now we're getting to our large sockets. These are mostly for head bolts or main bolts. These are 3/4 drive. That's a starter socket for Cat 5/8. These are a brand of, these are for universal joints. They're a nice little set. And then we have one random 3/4. Let's get over to the big box now. 304. Hey, there's my bicycle. So let's start counting here. We got even more, folks. These are hub sockets at the top here, obviously. And then we've got the rest of my 3/4 shallow drive sockets. And I apologize for this drawer. This is kind of my junk wrench drawer. It's got a random amount of sockets and wrenches and stuff that I don't really use hardly ever, but I don't want to throw away. 322. We are climbing. So random ones in the back. They're weird sizes like 12s and 13, 16, stuff like that. You don't use that often. And I apologize for this drawer, folks. We got a lot of sockets here. Now the good news is back here, these are bits. They're metric and standard bits, so we don't have to count those, luckily. Got some ball hex and a couple extensions, universals. We don't have to count those, but still a lot of sockets here. Where do I even start? Let's start here. So we're 367 now. We're definitely going to be over 400. 390, great Ford engine there. These are just random loose sets I've had over the years. That's a mate socket for 3306 engines. 423. Okay, these are stacked, kind of like my other ones, and they're chrome, so I don't really use them that often. 3/8 drive. Getting up there. Oh my goodness. It's got to be close to, okay, 460. Another great Ford engine. Actually, I had a 460 Ford once I built. Not the best on fuel economy, though. We are getting up there. Okay, this is another Sunex brand, 1/2 inch drive there I was counting. And looking for my tap sockets. There we go. They're 1/4 and 3/8 drive, so they count. And finally, the last socket. So 515. Now, if you don't know, I put a post on YouTube 2 days ago. Whoever could guess the correct amount first wins this cat cooler, courtesy of Western States Caterpillar. So Brent Pugh, please email me at adeptape@yahoo.com and we will send this out to you. Like I said, courtesy of Western States Cats. We actually had 2 people that guessed this number, 515, but he actually guessed it within the first hour of the post. So unfortunately for the other guy that guessed it, but good guess. Thanks for watching the video. How about a little destruction of the week? You might want to call this frustration of the week instead of destruction of the week, but Jerry sent me these pictures. It's a yellow engine, but it's actually a John Deere, and oil filter would not come off. As you can see, it basically just disintegrated, leaving the end of the oil filter, or the top of the oil filter, on the engine itself. Luckily for Jerry, though, he was able to get that broken piece of the filter off in 2 pieces. He said it was quite the pain in the butt. Hard to tell, but it was hard to get to. Luckily, he got it off without damaging the engine. Thanks for watching.